Welcome to 5 Minute Salute. I'm your host, Chris Budihas, and joining me virtually, we got Tony LaVecchia with MOA, and then we got Larry Flint with both MOA and Ingenia Services. Gentlemen, Tony, how are you?
Great, Chris. Thanks for having me here today.
Yes, sir. It's good to see you again. And then Larry, good to see you. Can you quickly tell us, first of all, thanks for your service in the Navy, but what's Ingenia Services?
So Ingenia Services is a small defense contractor. When I say small, the numbers go from as low as 10 up to about a dozen. Maybe it's been as high as 15, but a small defense contractor, and not all doing one thing, kind of multitasking, depending on what the client's looking for. My lane at Ingenia Services is supporting the cyber exercises or cyber events in exercises where we're trying to mature the cyber element of joint and combined exercises.
Yeah, that's excellent. And you and I have been talking off camera earlier, the fact that, with cyber and space is, 2 added domains in the last 5 years to, the pre-existing domains of the maritime, the air, and the ground is hugely important. And to not exercise, cyber attack, if you will, in an exercise in preparation for potential conflict with near-peer competitors is, in my opinion, foolish, if you will. So, shifting topics, you're a MOA member. Can you tell me about MOA and why you are a member? Why is it important for you as a retiree to be part of MOA?
Well, MOA is a great source of information and a great source of support and a great advocate for retired military and soon all retired military or veterans who maybe didn't even spend the whole hitch to make it to retirement, but they defend and stand up for retiree benefits. And they also, it's a great avenue for networking for myself on the transition to reach out to other folks. MOA was a great vehicle for hooking up with old shipmates or maybe some folks I didn't even know, but we're in the same career field, and they could help having been through the process themselves.
That's excellent. And then Tony, for you, why is it important for folks like Larry to be part of the organization, and how can your members help MOA here, not just here in Northeast Florida, but across the nation?
Sure, Chris. So Larry's one of those old shipmates that he was referring to about. Him and I go back several years together, and here we are in Northeast Florida, and we're both MOA members as well. But so MOA, we're an organization of officers, but we're not about officers. We're here for all active duty officer enlisted, former, retired, surviving spouses, and we're here to advocate on behalf of those folks to protect the benefits they earned and they were promised by the United States government. That's their number one priority. Everything else is also there. Kind of what Larry said, it's great for networking, to stay informed. Things are constantly changing in the veteran environment, and there's various ways you get to stay informed through their hard copy monthly magazine publication, through email pushes, and then our chapter meetings. I am the incoming chapter president for MOA Nassau County. That's ncflmoaa.org. Join and you get to stay informed. You keep your voice heard, and to protect those benefits that you earned.
That's excellent.
I mean, that's a nutshell.
Yeah. And then Larry, for you, when did you join MOA? Did you join while in uniform, or did you decide to join MOA after?
It was after, and I think Tony kind of hit on it, but personally, I really never gave it any thought until after I retired. I think that's not uncommon, but Tony makes the point that it's not just about retirement. It happens to be when a lot of people start thinking about it, but it's not just for retirement.
Yeah. And then Tony, do you have any idea of how many folks, in your chapter are on active duty or in the retire former service member categories?
Yeah, so we have very few active duty. It might be in the ones and twos of active duty. It's, they're busy, right? They got other things.
That's fair.
If you're on active duty, you're typically a little younger. It means you have families and you have other commitments. But but they can still participate virtually through emails and meetings. But we also open up our meetings to evening meetings, not just daytime meetings. So for those cases where those people that are working still, even those that are retired or former that are still in the workforce, they can find it difficult. So we have evening events as well for them to still participate.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're in a Navy town. There's a lot of veterans in this community, a high density here in Northeast Florida as compared to the rest of the nation. And I appreciate your comment. They are busy, and I agree to that. I joined while on active duty. And it's funny, if people ask me, like, how did you find MOA? I said, ironically, I was in the airport and I saw MOA magazine and I picked it up and I said, wow, this is pretty compelling. I'd already been a life member of the VFW, and I saw what they were doing. It was specifically talking about the legislation that was looking at the benefits being looked at in the legislation they were proposing, and the efforts they were using to educate Congress, which was a new Congress coming into session, to protect those benefits already earned, right? So that's hugely important. So Larry, thank you for your service to the nation. Same thing to you, Tony. Tony, any last words on MOA before we wrap up?
I would say join MOA, join Nassau County chapter up here in Northeast Florida, NCFL MOA. It will allow you to make your voice heard, to protect those benefits that you are earned and that you were promised.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you. Without you guys' service to the nation and what you do in your post-military career, specifically the organizations like MOA, we couldn't do what we're doing here, and really taking care of veterans in your post-military career and journey is hugely important. As a retiree myself, I appreciate it, and being a MOA member, I really appreciate the time you're taking to tell our story. So thank you again. Hope you guys have a good holiday.
You too. Thanks, Chris.
You as well,
Absolutely.
Chris.
I'll be in touch. All right, folks, you like what you heard, please share our content. Connect with us on LinkedIn, other forms of social media. We'll see you in our next segment, Live with Gratitude.